portfolio. We're holding some, we're selling some, trading and everything to that effect. And you can get a lot of information about that through our membership. So let's go ahead and get things started, because we didn't really have a lot of information, but I did find out that the DHS funding can negatively impact everyone except for the DHS agents. And we're going to be talking about a lot of that on Monday. So you want to stay tuned for that when we start covering that on Monday. But let's go ahead and get started with one of the comments that we've got from some of our fans here.
How come in my whole 25 years of life, I know it's not much, but still, I have never met or known a genuinely good man. I don't like my dad or my brother. I don't have male role models. I can easily think of my female role models. But I have never actually thought, wow, that's such a nice man. I wish my partner was like that in real life. Deep down, I still believe that I will meet someone who's a genuine person, but I'm still having a hard time. Why is this so fucking hard for a man to be a decent human being, whereas the emotional intelligence ugh? I'm so disappointed.
Damn. I thought she was done for a second there. That's going to be a big problem with this particular person, because like this, we've covered this on the show quite a few times. Your upbringing is going to be your first exposure with men. The way your brothers, your male cousins, your father, your uncle, grandfather behave around you. And that is going to be the ideal observation of what a good man looks like. Hopefully, these men are behaving good. And if the men are performing in the aspects of a masculine man, whether a woman likes what he's doing or not, he's doing his role and playing his part. Now, if, for say, example, your brother and your father are ideal good men, but you just don't like them. Now, the problem that's going to happen there is any person that reminds you of your father and any person that reminds you of your brother, you are going to be repelled. If your father is a good man, you would be repelling a good man. If your brother's a good man, you'd be repelling a good man. You would not be able to find a man that you're happy with if you have been compromised by what a good man is supposed to be like. Now, here's another problem. If you have never, I know they be coming up with some wild stuff first thing. These were not selected in any specific order. It just happened. Now, the next thing that we have is, if you've never seen a good man, and yeah, women promote each other on a regular basis, even when they're the most toxic in some situations. If you don't know what a good man looks like, how can you say that your brother and your father are not good men? And then how can you say that you would know what a good man looks like when you find him? Yo, bro, these horror stories are gonna get these horror stories are gonna get crazy. And on top of that, we have good news. The Seahawks beat the Patriots, so we didn't have a disappointment today. Well, at least the men didn't. Men are providers and protectors. Emotions are not usually relevant in the real world. It clouds your judgment. Now, so emotions are actually relevant to a degree. However, men are expected socially to behave without emotion, which makes no sense. Which is why you say emotion is irrelevant. The thing is, because men are supposed to be protectors and provide, men have a limited role, and not a lot of women want to accept this. They prefer to make it seem like everything is, equal all the way across because the women are benefiting from it. But the truth of the matter is that the men have a very limited role. You can list all of the things that a good woman could do that they don't, which we've replaced with technology, But when we think about a woman's role, we've got like cooking, cleaning, childcare, helping the man get organized for work, almost like a personal assistant. That's the only stuff that people identify for a woman. Now, I have on this show found plenty of different things that can make a woman valuable, even from a financial perspective, but women don't think about these things. But that's the stuff that they identify for a woman. And then when you start taking about child care and everything to that effect, keeping the house organized, stuff to that effect, that there's so many things that makes a woman valuable that women don't want to do. But for a man, you make money, you bring it back, and you give it to the family or spend it on the family. And you put your life and your freedom on the line for that same family. That is all you're identified as. You can go one step further, lifting heavy objects, moving the furniture, building stuff on the roof, cutting the grass, taking out the trash. But basically, protect and provide. Now, when a provider provides, the person that receives that provision is a dependent. And I've been talking about this for a minute. Now, when a mom is taking care of her child, the dependent is the child and the provider is the mom, and no mom is going to have the child telling her what to do. Now, when we switch the script up, the man is the provider, the mom and the child are the dependents. But the women want to be in charge of the finances. They want to be in charge of what the man does. And the dynamic is going to be construed because she's not going to be happy with the man that submits to her and allows for her to be 100% in charge. But she's not going to be happy with a man that's in charge. The double standard becomes complicated because a woman is not going to be able to find a man that she's looking for, because what she wants is a puppet that will pay her. And what she gets is either an overly submissive man or a unacceptable masculine man that stands on his position. There isn't another way. Egalitarian is fictitious. I was talking about this to some of my contractors earlier today when I was talking about how it's pretty much 50-50. It's not 50-50. By definition, if you pay for every other dinner and then you have her pay for the drinks every other dinner, that's 75-25. Because she ain't half every other time, but you're paying the whole thing every other time. And that means that out of 2 times, you've paid 3/4 of what y'all have done, which is still 70-30. You know, if you're paying for some of the bills and she's paying for some of the bills, but then the money that you don't put on bills, you're buying her nice things, you're still putting your money into her and she's putting money into her. She'll put money into the kids. You'll put money into the kids. But usually there isn't much money left to put money into the husband or the father, right? Now, we don't really care about this, but we have to think about the fact that the men are going to bring in 70% or more worth of provision in most relationships, at least the ones where the women are chasing men that are more successful than she is. And then the women are going to do more effort, right? The women are going to complain that men aren't doing enough, but the women don't accept the fact that they don't have to pay as much. But even in business, that's the same dynamic, that the more you delegate, the less money you make out of the total quantity of money being made, because you are dispersing that currency towards all of your subordinates that are performing the work for you. So if the wife was paying, you know what I mean, that'd be a different story. But when the husband's carrying the workload, it is what it is. Mike said, men built the nest for women to maintain. Well, that's usually the way it goes back in the day. But nowadays, men build the nest for the women to be entertained, and then the women demand that the man maintain the nest or buy a housekeeper. But it can't be an attractive housekeeper, because then she'll be intimidated by the hot chick in the house doing his laundry, right? It's a double standard all the way around. But at 25 years old, if you don't know what a good man looks like, you will be rejecting men that could potentially be good men, and you will be in a position where you would not be able to find the happiness that you're looking for, because instead of evaluating the person for what they're capable of outside of wasting money on you, you're evaluating the person based on how they look and maybe some of their mannerisms. But you're not actually paying attention to, does he make the kind of decisions that you would support? You're not valuing him for his ability to prioritize your needs outside of financial expenses. And because you're not putting the value where it needs to be at, you're not looking for the right characteristics when you're looking for a man, which means that you're not going to find the one you want. You might find one that you're lusting for. You might find one that you profit from. You will find one out of convenience, but you're not going to find the right one, right? What's a good woman look like? That's a very hard question because, well, it's a hard question and an easy question to say the least. If you ask a woman all the things that she feels like she shouldn't have to do for a man, that's everything a good woman would do. The modern feminist woman, the modern alpha boss lady that believes that she does not have to or should not have to do whatever. You could do a census. You can ask 100 women, what do they believe that they should not have to do for a man? What do they believe men want them to do that they don't believe they have to do for me? And everything that women would identify, everything that women think that men ask for is oppressive, everything that a woman identifies as misogynistic, all of those characteristics are the perfect woman or a good woman. And where it's going to be hard to find, you'll find a woman to do some of that. You might, if you had 2 or 3 women, you might have each one of them do a little bit of it, and then together you would end up with the best girl because you would have a collection of women doing a little bit of the things that you need. But truth be told, any one woman doing all of it voluntarily, it might happen from family-oriented women that are satisfied with your income, but the majority of women, no. You'll never see it. Now, the ones that get the closest to being a good woman are the ones that are married for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and the only time they get divorced is when she divorces him because he cheated on her because something happened in the marriage. The rest of the times, like, the best women are the ones that through till death did them part, literally. Like, dude died and she didn't kill him. It didn't matter how many times he cheated. She stayed with him and didn't divorce him. It didn't matter whether or not he got mad or whatever the case may be. They worked it out. And they put a 40, 50-year marriage on the table through all of the good times and the bad. That type of woman, probably the best ones. But those are the ones that are already taken more often than not. And the ones that haven't been taken yet, hang around too many of them that aren't wife material, and that's why you can't find them. Because birds of a feather flock together. So when the 5 people you spend the most time with are 304s, then you're going to be considered in the group of 304s, and that's going to, if each one of your friends are only friends, if each one of your friends is an OnlyFans girl, you go out with them, they're going to assume that you're an OnlyFans girl too. They're not going to assume that you're a wife material. So, when in Rome, do what the Romans do, but stereotyping, you will be treated like a Roman even if you're not one. That's the other half of that. If the woman I see on the news, what is that? Writing is a choice, I'll stay single. Oh yeah. The ones you see on the news taking off their shirts and spray painting themselves and screaming at the top of their lungs and picketing, and those are the women that call themselves good women, but those aren't the ones that the ones that stayed at home and kept themselves properly clothed. Those were the ones that we look for, but we don't find them because good women aren't in bars and clubs. You find good women at work, right? Or they're at the house, and you might catch them at like the mailbox or something. See them at the post office delivering a package for a family member. They're hard to find. The closest to seeing a good woman in activity is they're at the grocery store. That's it. There's not the grocery store, like a bookstore or something like that. You're not finding a good woman in places where not good women frolic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one.
I can't believe this. My husband wrote me a note inviting me to go on a vacation for 5 days. He hasn't done this in 20 years. I was really happy and excited, but worried he would find a way to punish me. Well, I guess I was right. Tonight he told me he changed his mind because it was too much money and that he couldn't let go of his resentment of me. We even met with his therapist today who told us to go away and have fun and find a way to make your wife feel safe and leave your resentments at the door. I can't believe after everything I have put up with and sacrificed that he would pull the rug out from under me and hurt me even more. His therapist said he's displacing his resentments onto me that belong to his parents. He knew how
Mm,
much the hotel was, BC. He booked it. All I said is that I wanted to be somewhere warm, BC. It's been freezing here. I've been saying for over 10 years I'd like to go somewhere warm for a few weeks in the winter, but he never did anything. So I was so happy he booked the trip, thinking maybe he finally did something for me, but he just canceled it tonight. I can't believe it. Why would he do that to me? Why does he hate me so much? I am just reeked. After 30 years of emotional and sexual abuse, he's an addict and a
mm,
liar. I can't take it.
mm,
I have no money to leave. I've been a
mm.
psalm and work part-time, but make very little. I really
Right?
thought maybe he was turning a corner. I just don't want to keep living like this.
Bro, she's scamming. He said, "What up, Fries? What's going on, Ericum?" Uh, so the key here is that she has completely disappointed her husband, and whether she cheated, whether she has disrespected him, devalued him, something, she has angered him, and now she is not willing to atone for that. Why doesn't she book the trip? They don't apply themselves that. It's the man's responsibility to book the trip. See, when she's telling a story, she's not telling what she did wrong. She's talking about how he's wrong for how he feels, but he's holding resentment because she did something that upset and frustrated him. Something that she has not atoned for. Right, playing victim. Now, he has to forgive her and then make her feel safe and go on this lavish trip to please her. But he's the one that's disappointed in her. Whatever therapist they got, I'd get a new one because he should not resent her for his parents unless she has done something to his parents. Okay. So if she got into a fallout with his parents and now his parents are upset and he's mad at her because she feels like she was in the right and she's not willing to make amends, and that's drawing a wedge between him and his family, and him choosing her over his family, which is not something that he normally would have done if that's the situation he's in. I'd be resentful too. Because as a man, we are supposed to take all the punches. She was supposed to, uh, 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 do the same. The men are not supposed to just be punching bags for society and for his woman. And then at the end of the day, we can't speak up for ourselves because we're not allowed to do that. But she's going to feel like she did nothing wrong, and she's going to say that he's the one that's abusive. I don't believe that. I personally believe that she did something that she had no business doing, and the psychological and emotional abuse that comes here is that she's going to make him regret feeling bad for what she did to him, and then he's going to be forced to make it up to her. I don't She doesn't want to stay there, she can leave, but she's saying, well, she doesn't have any money to leave. Whose fault is that? Modern society allows for women to go ahead and get jobs and work. It doesn't sound like they have kids together. That's holding her back from being self-sustainable. If she's living under one income, she could get there and take that money and invest some of it into their future, but invest some of it into her escape if she really wanted to go somewhere. There's no reason why you can't go. You don't want to go, but let him have some text messages or photos or videos in his phone archived from 22 years ago. Y'all been together 20 years. Have it be archived in his phone from 22 years ago. Because he didn't delete it, she would want to get a divorce. So my dynamic is If you're gonna stay with the man, you should be taking him on a trip to wherever the fuck he wants to go to make him feel better, just like what Eric was saying. And you need to be atoning for whatever actions that you performed that made him resent you, because the resentment is going to stem from sadness, which is going to be a primary emotion that is going to then be projected outward as anger and resentment, and some of it is going to be directed inward as depression, and that long-standing depression is going to lead to, because he's suppressing his feelings, is going to lead to resentment because you are ignoring how he feels and you're not addressing what's going on with him. Now, you were able to ask us, why was he pissed off? But you're not able to ask him. And if you ask him and then you put forth the effort to make it up, because y'all have been together 20 years, this fucking career, you need to go ahead and start putting in effort to atone. You've had plenty of time, and that's why it is now resentment. But if he planned a trip, and now whatever trip he planned probably wasn't the one you wanted, and that's why he canceled the trip, because he booked a trip and now you're bitching. And if he booked a trip for y'all to go somewhere and you wanted to upgrade it, he got you the base model because that's all he could afford. And as you said, he told you he couldn't afford it right now, right? He's going to resent you because you wasn't satisfied with what he was doing for you, even though that was outside of his budget. That makes you ungrateful on top of being at fault for pissing him off to begin with. So while he's mad, he's spending money he don't got to satisfy you, and you're not even grateful for it. That's bullshit. You should be ashamed of yourself for that. This is why I tell y'all, don't y'all be wasting that unnecessary money on these relationships. Y'all can't talk that shit out. Fuck it. Spending money to make the problem in a relationship go away is not fixing the problem. You have to fix the problem in the relationship. It will include communication, but it is something that it is being doing that needs to stop, or something that's not being done that needs to start. That's the reason why there's discussion, that there is disgruntled parties in the relationship. He said, I hate that women expect men to plan everything, but then have to criticize it every time, or say they didn't want to do that. It is a fun catch-22 every time. Oh, bro, if in the event that you refuse to plan it, they're going to devalue you as a man. If you plan it and don't guess what they've got in mind, then you're inconsiderate, and you're going to be shamed for that too. And she's going to complain. It doesn't matter if she has to go somewhere warm. If the man got her tickets to the fucking Winter Olympics and taking you to France, then damn it, you're going to France. Put on a fucking winter jacket next time you get something not cold. If he was going to take you somewhere to go relive the first ski trip y'all took, yeah, you wanted somewhere warm, but it ain't about what the fuck you wanted. It was about what he was trying to recreate. What the old saying is that it was a thought that counts. It was his thoughts as to how he thought his projection of his feelings to you should be articulated and constructed. That counts, not what you expect him to do. It's not the same. So when they put them demands up there, it really fucks up the effort from the man. And the women aren't putting up that effort. I was just talking to a guy earlier today, and I was like, bro, what do we get for Father's Day? Because women get dinner, chocolate factories, all this other stuff for Mother's Day. Same stuff that the women get for Valentine's Day, they get for Mother's Day. Then they get their birthday. Then they got Christmas. What men get for Father's Day is discounts at Home Depot and Lowe's. That's it. That's it. We don't even get discounts on men's clothes at a men's clothing store. We just get discounts at Home Depot and Lowe's, and at the house we're cooking for everybody else because we're the man. Now, how would a woman feel like cooking for her husband on her birthday? The same way a man should feel about cooking for himself on freaking Father's Day. Michael says, in a lot of cases, it's a control issue. She feels that she can't leave because she makes no money. Well, it is going to be a control issue, but it's going to be more of a situation where he's not the one in control, and she's disappointed because she's not in control. And that's the problem. So she's not leaving because she doesn't want to, right? It's not because she can't. So a man that forces a woman to quit her job, why did you marry him and stay with him for 20 years? You got to ask yourself that means that in 2006 they got married. You can't tell me that she couldn't figure something out in 20 years. Just send him a text. Take her to a warm place. Yeah, straight to hell. She could take it to, he said, take her to a warm place. She goes straight to hell. It's warm there. Being ungrateful. Look, I can tell you right now, no female really knows what her man wants. She just knows what the last 5 men she respected wants, and she's going to give that to her current man, because if other men were satisfied with this activity, this man should be satisfied with this activity, because men are predictable and men don't change for much and men don't ask for much. But how many times has a woman dated a guy in recent time, in the last 5 years, and took note of all the things he wanted from her and did that without question, without rebuttal, without debate, just followed his instructions to the letter? None. How many women ask a man on a daily basis, does he need anything? Does he want anything? Is he okay? None. How can I help you? None. Can I get that for you? None. Right? So most women don't know what their man needs. Most women know that they're going to do what they want to do for him. And if he doesn't like that, then she's not, it's, oh, well, she did her part. Right? So it's crazy. Now, Eric says, hate that they complain about not ever going out. And then when you plan it, it's never good enough. Where are the girls that fucking grateful they're up for anything because they want to spend time with you? These women who want or expect you to go out always have some sort of fantasy, and when it doesn't live up to their decisions in their heads, just makes you quit. That is the resentment. That's where the resentment comes from. That's exactly where the resentment comes from. So the men are going to come up with something. And then here, this is the worst part. This is going to be the worst part. What if you've done this activity before? If she finds out that this gesture is a gesture that you have provided to another girl back in the day, she is not going to appreciate it. She is not going to respect it at all. But every woman gives the man the same thing every time. Some silky outfit, some head, some sex. That's it. Now, when does a woman go out of her way to do something for a man outside the bedroom that shows that she prioritizes and values her man? A lot of women are going to say cook his favorite meal and do his laundry. It's about it. But that's the stuff that you do every day. So when are you going out of your way to do what he needs? Not a lot of women got an answer to that question. But I agree with you, Eric. I think that that's ridiculous. Is I need jeans, size 35, waist 29 long, used. Oh, so you want them off the person that's still wearing them? Hello, Chocolate Thunder Week. He's talking about Happy Black History Month. I guess. Well, because I'm black. I mean, I don't know what's happy about it. Like in Mardi Gras, like next month, that's actually something more important than, like what do we get for Black History Month? We get Valentine's Day, we get Martin Luther King's birthday, we get Black History Month that is full of all of the black movies that they don't show on TV every other day out of the year. All of the black-driven movies. That's what we get for Black History Month. Look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, well, White History Week is every other week of the year. Like, they I mean, shit. Uh, I'm just throwed with that. It's it's a really weird concept that we celebrate being different, you know. Uh why don't we just like celebrate Friday or February because it's February? Why are we not, instead of screaming, "Hey, happy Black, happy N-word month"? Why not happy Chinese New Year? I ain't think about that, huh? They're going through New Year's over there. They turning up like it's January 1st, you know? But you see a minority on the podcast, happy Black Friday, happy Black History Month, happy. Oh, it is just another day around the way. It is. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. For the last 30 years of my life, I have always worked on Black History Month. Every freaking day, especially Martin Luther King's birthday. Why? Because affirmative action requires there to be at least one minority on the clock throughout business. And I was always that token. So, with all the other Black folks that was off and barbecuing and whatnot, I was at work putting in double overtime. So for me, it's just another day. Eric says the further she whines and complains, the further and deeper the grief sets in. That's the reason why he canceled the trip, because the girl was bitching so much. He was just like, you know what? Fuck this damn vacation. You ever seen a black guy working a KKK uniform on YouTube? Funny as hell. You're talking about Dave Chappelle, or are you talking about the actual black KKK member that actually did exist back in the day? Because they actually had, I think, two of them that were official members. Yeah, that was crazy. So while history people tell the story that they never had black folks in the KKK, no, they actually had two of them. Baiting white guys, then pulling off hoods. Their reaction is priceless. No, I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to see that. See, you can only get that type of entertainment from Black people in Black History Month, because let some white folks walk around with some KKK uniforms on. Oh, it's going to be a political nightmare. But let some Black folks do it and pull off the hood, and you see Black folks in KKK uniforms. Oh, everybody gets a laugh out of it. It's a double standard. And since we're talking about double standards today, reverse racism is nowhere. It's not positive at all, but we do it. So the people who use the N-word on each other hate the fact that they're having the N-word used on them by somebody else. First of all, if you don't want somebody not of color to call you that, you should not call anyone else of color that. So the word should have died out with the slavery abolishment. So the fact that it is still being used by the day-to-day person who thinks they're cool, and it's a rite of passage, a rite of passage for this derogatory term that devalues an entire race of people so that you can self-identify as something devaluing. It's almost as bad as when the alpha boss ladies are calling themselves bad bitches. It's like, why devalue yourself? We all bleed the same color. We do. We bleed purple until it oxidizes and then it turns red. Dave Chappelle, Clayton Bigsby character was absolutely brilliant. Hey, he pulled out a left field skit, and then he did the other one because he had a whole white family whose last name was the N-word, and he was just rubbing it in for that whole skit. So that was oh my God. Let's go ahead and get into this next comment because we got a few of them tonight.
I have been with my girlfriend for a few months. When we started dating, we seemed perfectly aligned. She told me she hated the club scene, didn't like getting drunk, and wasn't a party person. That was something I was looking for, as I'm not that type of person as well recently. She has completely switched up. She's now going out multiple times with work friends, getting extremely drunk, and staying out way past the time she says she'll be home. She loves the lifestyle she claimed to hate. She says her New Year's resolution was to be more social, but it's turned into just more clubbing. She refuses to let me come with her. She claims she's embarrassed for me to see her that drunk. But in a place like a club where hookup culture is the norm, this feels incredibly sketchy, as if she is hiding something. We've talked about this, and she's claimed to slow down or come home earlier, but she ignores it every single time. I'm currently overseas on a trip I've had planned for a while. Because I'm away, I couldn't have this conversation in person, and now I'm stuck watching this happen from a distance. I don't want to be a controlling boyfriend. She is her own person and can make her own choices. But this isn't the person I signed up to date, and the fact that she's embarrassed to have me there makes me feel like she's hiding her single behavior from me. I don't necessarily care if she wants to go clubbing, but the frequency, hiding it from me, and the inconsistency in her actions are concerning me. Am I being too untrusting because of my past? Or is my gut right that this is a major red flag? How do I approach this situation? I have been with my girlfriend for a few months. When we started dating, we seemed perfectly aligned.
Hold on now.
She told
Tighten up, y'all.
Culture is the norm. Hiding it from me and the
before because of work, and I was okay with it. Now I do the same.
Situation.
All right, there we go. Woo! Scared me for a second there. Okay, so yes, what you said, Michael, spot on. She hates you. She fucking hates you. So here's the thing. You dating this chick. She's claiming that she's not into the clubs, probably because she was hurt. You're a rebound. She's dating you. You're busy at work. She's going out with her work friends and somebody she started dating on the job. Now she's clubbing with them. She's getting drunk. She's smashing, coming back to the house. You're the security blanket at the house, but the person that she really wants to be with is over there at the club. She's not bringing you to the club with her, because that will destroy and eliminate her image of being a single woman. Women are going to say, oh, no, that's just what insecure men say. But no, really, if you are not ashamed or embarrassed of your man, then you're going to take him with you. Actually, that is his fucking job, to protect you and provide for you. So when you go out to get hammered, he is supposed to be the one to make sure that you don't get too drunk, that nothing happens to you that's not supposed to happen to you, that you don't leave with people you're not supposed to leave with, you end up in the right car, you make it home safe, you don't get run over, you don't break a limb, you don't poke out an eye, you don't lose a tooth. All of the stuff that a man is supposed to be doing while you drunk. Right? Now, she's going to use the excuse, I don't want him to see me that way. Then don't go. Don't drink. Drink sodas. They got apple juice and orange juice at the bar. You can have a non-alcoholic night and go with your man. But you out there with some dudes throwing it back, and you're enjoying the free life because they're paying, and you don't want your man to be there spoiling the scene, and that's why she's behaving the way she's behaving. So now that your boy done gone overseas, and she knew that he was going overseas soon enough, now that he overseas, the relationship is dead, but it is on life support because the man, 80% of the time, doesn't want to let it go. But the relationship is already over. She switched out on you. And I'm going to tell you the same thing that I tell all women. In the moment when you feel insecure in this relationship, there is no reason to look for an escape plan. You are either going to communicate with your partner your insecurities and work it out with them, or you're going to break up with them, because your lack of trust is the foundation of the relationship, which means that the foundation is cracked. You can't build anything on that. Your resentment that's going to build on top of your lack of trust, then you're going to start accusing her of cheating. Then if she's not cheating, she's going to cheat just because you accused her of cheating. She's going to have resentment on you because she's not doing anything wrong. And God forbid she cheats and doesn't get caught, she's going to swear to God you're cheating next, and now y'all going to be arguing about stuff. And at some point, you're going to say something that hurts her feelings, and then she's going to blow up your spot and embarrass you about how she cheated and who she cheated with. Likely somebody very close to you, which is why she doesn't want you to go. Because I mean, if she could keep a good secret, you would be out there with her and the person that she was cheating on you with, and you wouldn't even know. But if you know the person, that's going to be a big difference. Michael says, my girlfriend graduated dental school, went to Hawaii, got knocked up, ended that relationship. Get over it. Look, that's really all it takes. Is like she goes somewhere else and deep throat somebody else. That's a wrap. Probably. Not. It is likely that she has given off the persona that she's single. She's going to be out there at the club. She is not going to be able to have a dude holding her hand and holding her purse and hugging her and kissing on her and everything like that. Then the dude that she's been smashing this whole time at the club show up, and he's like, "Who is that guy?" That's going to be a Jerry Springer moment. So to prevent that from happening, she's like, "Oh, I don't want you to go to the club." Look, if you really want to end your relationship, wait till she goes to the club. Go to the club that she's going to. An hour after she goes into the club, you go into the club and see who she's with. That's how you do it. That's some Cheaters season 2 shit. You just have fun at the club, sweetheart. She gonna tell you which club she's going to because she know you're not gonna go. But let her leave. Let her get a head start. Go to the club. Wait a little bit. Then after she gets in there and get comfortable, about 30 minutes to an hour in, then you go into the club and then you just, hey, just wanted to come check on you, right? See who she's with. Matter of fact, if you want to give it 2 hours so that she can be sloshed in the club, give her 2 hour head start. You see who she's head in the lap with, and that's why she didn't want you to come to the club. And if you're a smart man, if you're a really, really smart man, you're going to see her from across the room. She's not going to know you're there. You're going to see exactly why you're leaving her, and then you're going to walk out the club, and she'll never know that you were in the room. And if you're as smart as the other guy that I seen a couple days ago, you'll pack up all your shit. You'll take it like a robbery in the middle of the night, and by the time she get back from the club, there is nothing there. Your number is blocked. She can't reach you. Social media is blocked. She can't reach you. Email is blocked. She can't reach you. And if you got some friends and family that know what's going on, when they call, they're going to be like, who? And hang up on her, pretend like they don't know who she is. All right, let's go ahead and touch base on the next one.
I cancelled plans last minute with my boyfriend because I had a surprise visit and he's acting weird. I don't know, I'm tired of this. He cancelled plans before because of work and I was okay with it. Now I do the same and he doesn't answer my texts or phone calls. I had a surprise visit. I wasn't expecting it. It's been one of the most stressful days for me. I feel dizzy. He put his notifications on silence. I feel hurt. He doesn't answer me. I feel more anxious when he does this. I feel hurt and like crying. Maybe it's time to end this. Please, any advice? I blew up his phone, keep calling him, and he doesn't answer me. He put his notifications on silence, and that hurt me. I'm so tired of this. I've been nothing but supportive with his traveling job. And the surprise visit, family members.
Look, make sure you like and subscribe. I don't give a damn who the hell surprise visited you. Your man work. You work. He gotta go. When he come back and he take time off to be there with you, he is not canceling you because of a family member. He's canceling for his way to provide for you. You are canceling him because of a family member. Do you understand how stupid that decision is? Like, why didn't you just bring this jackass with you to your engagement with your because if he would have been at the house with you, this surprise visit would have surprise visited y'all. That's what I'm saying. She gotta go. She gotta go because if somebody came to, okay, let's set up this dynamic. I'm dating a chick. She's got to cancel because she got work, blah, blah, blah. Whoop-de-whoop. Now, she takes time out of her week. She sets something up with me. Then I'm going to cancel. Something came up. I got somebody else that's more important than her coming to see me. You know what I just told that person? Fuck you and the house that you rode in on. That is not how you're supposed to treat your partner. Now, you got to drop in. You had plans. Your drop in need to wait until you finish with your plans. If they end for the afternoon, well, you go check into the hotel. I gotta go spend some time with my man. I'm gonna ask him if you can come through, and then if he's okay with it, then I'll call you and tell you where we are. And you can meet us over. That's it. All you had to do. If he's not okay with it, look, let us finish dinner, and then we'll meet you after dinner. The surprise visit is not a 30-second surprise visit. It's the rest of the afternoon, the rest of the weekend. So that means that she did not have to put her man on hold so that she could go hang out with somebody else. She could either brought that person to, or that person could have waited until they finished. It was a reservation. And a reservation is 2-4 hours. So the other person could have waited in the hotel for 5 hours and then met up with her and spent the rest of the afternoon. She could have went to her man and told her man, oh, so-and-so, my cousin, my auntie, my brother, whatever, came into town, and I seen them on the way over, but I didn't want to miss this. And then, oh, really? Call them up and bring them over. You know what I mean? You didn't even talk to the man and tell the man that, because plans do change. But there is absolutely no reason why you blow off your significant other for an unexpected pop-up. That's unacceptable. She got to go. The relationship is dead. That's why he got a phone on silent, because he ain't putting up with this bullshit. He said the one time I done made myself free for you, your ass is busy because somebody else came to talk to you. I don't give a fuck who it is. It could have been your biological parents. Fuck it. Because you shouldn't have to choose. If your parents came into town unexpectedly and you about to go meet your man, you bring your parents too. You pay for your parents because they weren't part of the plans, but you bring your parents too. You don't stand up your man over nobody. Your significant other, your future mate for life person, you don't stand that person up for nobody. Okay? You get them and y'all deal with this together, but you don't stand him up for nobody. He said, as she says, she'll call him every 5 minutes to see what he's doing, and she's very insecure being by herself. But bro, if she calling every 5 minutes to see what he's doing, why is she not driving over there every 5 minutes to see if he's still there? Why her ass ain't sitting at the table? All the time that she wasting on calling and texting him, and it hurt her so bad, and her feelings are so distraught, and this, that, and the third. How do you think he feel that she's got more energy to waste time calling him, and she got less energy to try to get her ass over there and go spend time with the man? You know what I mean? I have never understood why the modern generation will call and text and blow your phone up for hours trying to talk to you. If you know where the fuck I am, why are you trying to talk to me on the phone? Get your ass over here and talk to me like an adult. We from the old school before cell phones was a thing. Remember when we had the pay phones with the put the quarters in it and dial a number, and you had to only talk for a certain amount, just drop more quarters in there kind of shit before beepers and shit? Like, look, if you really wanted to talk to me, you would be standing in front of me in person. You wouldn't be on the phone. So if something came up that somebody else in town that you want to go meet, we should be meeting them together. Because aren't we supposed to be a package deal? And if we're not, then what the fuck am I doing here? I know when it comes down to women say everything that they want to have involved in the relationship is a package deal. But look, everything that the man wants in the relationship is a package deal too. So if his attention is a priority and you've got other people that want your attention, you should be with him while you're entertaining somebody else, because he's the number one priority. The same way, if his family was to come into town, his sister, his auntie, his daughter she knew nothing about was to come into town, I'm going to have to show you to her because I got to go meet her. Most men will not put their family on hold. Well, most men will not put their woman on hold because their family members came into town. They're not going to do it. They're going to tell them, oh, we're going to go meet so-and-so. What they'll probably do is call you and tell you that so-and-so just showed up on your doorstep and you're on your way to the restaurant and ask if it's okay if they bring this extra person. And yeah, they'll be disappointed, but he ain't standing you up. Let's check on the next one.
Last night before my husband went to bed, I begged him to wash one set of pump parts for me tomorrow, i.e. now today. When I say begged, I mean I literally said please, please, please. It's a daily task. I actually use 2 pumps, so I wash 2 sets a day, and I do them myself 99% of the time. I had fallen behind, and yesterday I washed 5 sets throughout the day to catch myself up. I asked him to wash the 1 set the next day that I was actively using while I was doing my last go of bottle and part washing before bed, and asked that it be done before I got off work. That way the ones I used yesterday would already be clean, and I would be able to wash the ones I was using today when I was off work. Now I'm off work and they're not done. But he did a ton of laundry, all the other dishes, and all sorts of other stuff during the day. I calmly said to him, I'm not upset with you, I can see all the other things you did today and I appreciate that, but I want you to know that in the future, when I beg you to do one thing, I would rather come home to needing to do all the other things that I didn't ask for myself, than to come home to all of those other things being done and not the one thing I asked for. Of course he then got mad at me, told me I have no reason to have an issue, raised his voice at me and told me to go away. I get that he feels like I have no reason to complain after he did all this other work around the house, and I said that to him as well, but it honestly just seems kind of disrespectful to go out of your way to do all these other things and not the one thing I literally begged to be done.
That's a control issue right there. Like I said, one time I took this girl to meet my parents just to find out she's been there before. My nephew from Denmark took her to meet my parents. Go ahead, nephew. That's going to be an awkward family reunion. All right, now for this lady that does not have any value or respect for her man. So look, I understand how you feel. When you want something done, you expect it to get done, no matter if nothing else in life gets done. Now, men have that mentality, and women could give 2 shits. You want to know what she wanted done. Okay, so she's breastfeeding. The equipment, the bottles, the breastfeeding equipment, all of that stuff, she's got 5 sets of them, at least. So apparently he's buying a lot of them to make sure that she's got enough. She wants him to wash 1, and he didn't do it. Most women are going to say he's inconsiderate and he should prioritize her needs. From a man's perspective, if 5 is not enough, I probably would buy 5 more so that she would have as many as she needs. So that I don't have to rush over there when she cracks the whip for me to wash the 1 that she wants me to wash. Now, on the other hand, I don't know what kind of man he is. He might feel uncomfortable with washing those things, and you know, he might have forgot. It matters, but it doesn't matter, because the issue is that you asked him to wash a bottle. You went in there and washed 5 to catch up, and he probably realized that he forgot to do it. And when he realized that he forgot to do it, you already did it for him, and now he knew he was in trouble. So instead of him allowing you to do what you asked him to do, and then do all the other things around the house that you normally do, he put in the extra effort to make it up to you by cleaning up everything else in the house so that you would not have to do anything else, because the one thing you asked him to do, he didn't do. That was his silent way of apologizing for forgetting to wash the one thing that you asked him to wash. Now, you're not grateful for the thing that you asked him to wash. And you are now chastising him, verbally chastising him, because he didn't do what you said. This is when these relationships that are supposed to be egalitarian become a monarchy, because now he is no longer valued as a masculine man. He is expected to be a servant. And if he does not obey, she will be pissed off. And then she will discipline him verbally and sometimes cut him off emotionally because he did not obey. If he'd have married a woman from the Philippines, she would have washed all of her bottles, his girlfriend's bottles, his mama's bottles, cleaned the whole house, rebuilt the car, built some furniture, took care of his kids, her kids, his parents for $800. So all I'm saying is that the woman could be a little bit more compassionate about the fact that he did the best that he could in the current situation. Now he need to tighten up and make sure that going forward that she don't got to ask him for a clean setup. So until she stop feeding, he need to have like 15 or 20 of them in there, since 5 is not enough. And then she won't have anything to complain about, and he will have the opportunity to wash at least one, because there'll be like 20 or 30 of them up in there. If I got a female that's breastfeeding and I know the child is supposed to get 1 or 2 bottles every feeding time, then I'm going to try to have like 5 or 7 days worth of bottles in there. There's going to be like a whole cabinet with just empty clean bottles, empty clean pacifiers, a big jar. Look, bro, I'm going to have one of them gigantic mason jars in there where we can just milk her all day like a cow and fill it into this jar. And some of it's for the baby and the rest of it's for my white Russians. And we're going to make it do what it do. You understand? She ain't going to never have to worry about not having enough in the fridge. He said breast pumps 1 to 2 per household. Breast prefer electric pumps. Yeah, but you still got to have something to put it in. She's not necessarily asking him to clean the pump itself, but each pump has a bottle, has several bottles. And depending on how big the child is and how much the child is being fed, there's going to be a plethora of bottles there, 3 to 5 bottles. So if you, so say you feed the child 3 times a day and you use 1.5 bottles each time, that's going to be 5 bottles, which means that you don't got enough for 2 days worth of feeding. You're going to have to clean these bad boys every day, right? And if you don't have one clean, because then the other problem is that you're going to have some bottles that are full, at least 1 bottle in the baby's mouth, and then 2 more bottles being filled. And that's what she's complaining about. She asked him to go clean 1 of the bottles, and he didn't do it. And she went and cleaned 5 of them because he didn't clean 1. So I said, well, fuck, buy 10 more. Then she ain't got nothing to bitch about. Look, Mike had the same idea. Look, buy 10 more. Then she got nothing to bitch about. If 5 wasn't enough, them bottles is cheap. Buy 10 more. She ain't got nothing to bitch about. By the time she get through 10 bottles, I could have washed 3. And if she got 5 and I bought 10 more, she got 15. So by the time she go through 10, if I'd have bought 3, she got 8. There ain't never a situation where the provider couldn't have fixed that by providing more. Baker's dozen and 1 for me. Look, you already know. I told you. I said I got to get my white Russians in, because what they be throwing cow's milk and goat's milk and shit, bruh. I got a baby mama breastfeeding, bro. I'm putting breast milk in my coffee. I don't give a fuck. Call me nasty. I don't care. Human milk is better for humans than animal milk. So me, I'm gonna milk my girl, and I'm gonna she gonna be like, oh, do you know how much I breastfeed? I'm like, yes, I do. You took the baby's bottle. I know. Make me some lean. We gonna throw this in the I know some people think that's dirty, but look, I mean, we can always have some coconut water with some fruit, and we can work this situation out. I want my wife to have different flavors. but yeah, she's just not appreciating the fact that he tried to make it up. I see what he did. He realized that he forgot. Once she got in there and started doing the five, he realized that he forgot. And she was probably in there doing the five, bitching about the fact that she only asked for one, and now she got to do all of them because he ain't do the one that she asked for. So when he did, and every man does this, oh shit, and as soon as he realized she mad, he didn't cook dinner and wash the dishes and did the laundry and put up the everything, vacuum the house up, dust, get that one spot behind the ceiling fan and everything, just so that she could be appreciative that he did something, even though he didn't do what she asked, and she wasn't satisfied. I would have cussed her out. You said chocolate milk. Shh. Well, that means I gotta have two women because one of them coming from the Philippines. And since we're dealing with chocolate milk, I gotta have me a chocolate mama to have chocolate milk, and then I gotta have my Filipino mama to have Filipino milk. And 2% milk is just watered down milk. That's when you done ran out of milk and you pour water into your cereal. That's 2% milk. The only reason why they made 2% milk is because the lactose isn't healthy for you. Let's go ahead and touch base with the next one. These females mad at me today.
Girl who lives in the apartment below me's cat just died. She is crying really loud and yelling. What should I do to help, if anything? I don't know this girl. She just lives below me and is clearly super distressed. Edit. For those who asked why I care. No, I'm not attracted to her. I'm not trying to date her or anything. I'm happily engaged. I just lost my own grandmother, and grief kinda sucks, but I don't know how to approach a stranger's grief, or if I should. That's why I asked here.
You heard that, Mike? He living in an apartment. Cat dies, and this woman is over here screaming like Rocket 5. Adrian! My thought, I'm banging on something and screaming, shut the fuck up. That's what I'm going to do. But, she's upset. You want to go and console her. You're engaged. Now, you in a sense, if he was a single man, that's exactly what happened. Knock on the door. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything I can get for you? Right? That would be the appropriate way to handle that. So, the reason why he's concerned is because she's hot, he's attracted to her, he's engaged. A lot of times, people emotionally get laid. Over a cat, I don't know, but consoling can lead to all kind of weird things. So, do you let her sit there and cry by herself? Do you just, don't tell her anything? Or do you go down there and console her because you are engaged? If your fiance lives with you, you should be able to explain the problem to her specifically about the fact that the cat is dying and the woman won't shut up, and let your woman handle that. Right? Because appropriately, you are not supposed to be fraternizing with the female neighbors while your fiance is not home. That's going to lead to a world of problems. So you and your fiance can go down there and make sure that the woman is okay, or you let your fiance go down there and make sure that the woman is okay, or you could just call the landlord and be, look, bro, like I can hear what sounds like a serial killer in her apartment because her cat died and she needs to keep the noise down. And the police will come over and tell her the same thing. Let them men console her. 2 cops, 1 chick. And she'll stop crying. Need a new cat? I'm not getting it for you though. She should have had 2 or 3 of them. The cat lady acting like that. She need to have 2 or 3 of them. But what is if he's in that kind of apartment where she is so loud that he can hear her crying in his house because her cat died, bro, she gotta stop. Shoot, I had a dog die during a live podcast. Nobody even knew. Nobody even knew. I finished the whole show and then buried the animal. Like, and if we weren't having this conversation right now, y'all would have never knew. So what the hell is she out here wilding out like that for? Let's touch base with the next
I know it seems shallow, but I'm only getting older and I never got a chance to be pretty. I am bullied and degraded and humiliated every single time I try to date as a grown woman nearing 30. I've spent my youth feeling afraid of men and traumatized, facing the harsh reality that the dream of me growing into a beautiful woman is unrealistic as I am past the point of a blossoming woman and now I'm only growing old. I was bullied for looking younger and being inexperienced as a young adult. I have a lot of flaws and defects that I just don't have the money to fix. I'm facing the reality that I will only start to look worse as my life passes me by. Thanks to my dad, I see how much young women are valued. Young, beautiful women. And I just never had a chance. I'm bitter.
Whoa. All right, so dad picking up 20-year-olds, huh? And you're not 20 anymore. All right, so look, she ain't even want no advice. So here's the thing. You wasn't out there doing what you could have done to get the attention that you needed to get to lock yourself into the relationships that you wanted to have growing up. I respect that. Means your body count is low. Value is a little bit high. Look, she could let it go. She could let it go. She could get her a cat too and become another cat lady. However, because your body count's low, you have less experience around the way, you have a lot more value. Even if you were a Geo Metro with like 5,000 miles and like 40 years old, you have a lot more value than the ones with 200,000 miles that just came out yesterday. So if you're looking for companionship, the first thing you have to do as get over your traumas, because you said that you had some issues, and it should not cost you billions of dollars to get over your traumas. However, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to find out what the type of ideal man you want is looking for in a woman, and then you become that. A lot of attractive women these days are becoming the type of man that she wants, and she believes that she is universally valuable in the market because other women would want her if she were a man. That doesn't make her valuable to men. That makes her valuable to women. Women have to find out what a man is looking for in a woman and then decide if she's going to do that. That's going to mean wife material from the first date behavior has to happen. And the man that benefits from that will be the man that will choose you regardless of what your looks are. But understandably, the closer you get to 30, the less value you're going to have. The closer you get to 40, the far less value you're going to have. Because after 27, you're going to be on a downward spiral. After 21, a man's sex drive is going to be on a downward spiral, but your ability to reproduce diminishes the closer you get to 40, and your value for the average 60-something% of men that want to be fathers is going to limit and reduce the number of suitors that will choose you because you don't reproduce. Now, I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying that is the stake in the game. So, for the women that are watching the show that are 20 to 25, You need to have your ideal partner in mind and find those ideal partners and find out what they look for in a woman. And then you start trying to master that. And you try to lock that man in before you're 30. Because between 30 and 40, you could probably give him 5 kids. But at 30, if you're not willing to change, you know who you are and you know what you want in life, but you don't know what your partner wants in life, you have no value to a man because you're not willing to be what he needs you to be. You're willing to demand what you want, but if the shoe was on the other foot and the only person that got what they want out of the deal was the man, women would object. So why are women projecting themselves in a position where she's the only one that gets stuff out of the deal? Michael said she probably went to an all-girls school with low self-esteem and and a sheltered life. Probably so. Probably so. Because if she would have went to a unisex school or a co-ed school and joined the cheerleading squad or the chess team or the band team, you're seeing American Pie with band camp. Even the band geeks were getting it. So there's no reason why she wasn't getting it thrown back. Look, there you go. She can talk to you. You want a babysitter. But that's what I'm saying. That's why like the females, like, no love lost. Like they had full on capabilities to meet the right person younger in life. But I understand the introverts and I understand the individuals that aren't really out there. But see, if you're looking for the hunky captain of the football team that all the cheerleaders are falling for, you have to understand where there is a high demand and a low supply, it's harder for you to get that. Just like it is with getting a Rolls Royce, it's hard to come by, which is why people fawn over them when they see somebody with it. You recognizing that you're either an average or below average person, you need to be able to pay attention to the average people and then see how you fare with them. If you're not faring with the average people, go and take a look at the below average people. If you think that you're a 3 or a 4, go talk to some 3s and 4s and see what they look for in a woman. Still, again, you're doing a census of what do these men look for in a woman. And when you find a man that is willing to accept you for who you are, you're willing to do what he needs, then you got a match. Y'all can learn to love each other because love is a choice. It's not something that happens. She's an incel. Women have been using that on men for so long. That's actually the perfect example of an incel. Yeah. She is unable to. She's capable, but unable to find a match. And that is a choice that women make when they say, I'm single by choice. No, the men that you want don't want you, and you don't want the men that want you, and that's why you're single. That's a mismatch. That's not single by choice. That's a mismatch. Because if you choose to smash somebody, you could pick up a dude today, but you can't choose. You could not be single by choice today and married tomorrow. You are single by design because you are not willing to be what the men that you want you to be, and you are not interested in the men that will accept you for who you are. So you failed twice because the men that you didn't have to change for, you rejected, and the men that you have to change for, you refuse to change. That's not going to work on either side. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and touch base with the next one.
I love being away from my husband. My husband recently got a new job, and it required him to leave for training for 3 months. This will have been the longest we'd ever been apart. In the 14 years we have been a couple. We moved in together in our mid-20s. I moved from my parents' home straight into living with my then boyfriend, who is now my husband. Well, I'm surprised and concerned to say that I love living separately from my husband. It's actually troubling how wonderful I've found it to be. I love everything about it. I love going to sleep in the center of the bed in a quiet, dark room. He scrolls on his phone for hours. He also has apnea and snores. I love having whatever I want for dinner without having to consider his preferences. I love watching whatever ridiculous crap I want on TV without his background commentary. I love parenting my son however I see fit without his interference. I love the quiet. Sometimes I turn off the TV and just enjoy the silence. This has been my first taste of freedom in my adult life. The first time I've lived on my own, although I do have a 7-year-old son, but you know what I mean? And it has been absolute bliss. I feel terrible because I do love my husband. He's such a genuinely good person. We met as teens and were friends for 12 years before we started dating. We are now 40 and have known each other through a lot of different seasons of life, etc. But I have loved being away from him so much that I am actually anxious about him returning. I feel even worse about this because my husband goes on and on about how he can't wait to come back, how he misses us, and never wants to be apart this long again. He has struggled through the past 3 months while it's absolutely flown by for me. Everything just seems so much more peaceful when he is away. One less person to take care of and appease. My husband doesn't know the extent of my feelings. I just say I'm an independent person and not to worry about us because I'm holding down everything at home with our son just fine. He doesn't know that I've actually enjoyed my life since he's been gone and am not struggling at all. He is a good man and father. He's actually an awesome human with so much integrity, but we have known each other forever now, and he frankly often annoys me. He's extremely needy. He is just a person who needs a lot of attention. He talks a lot. He needs the TV on constantly. It's never quiet when he's home. He can also be critical and very opinionated. The biggest thing is his constant questioning of my decisions regarding our son, who is age 7, diagnosed with autism level 3 and nonverbal. I'm the one taking care of him 95% of the time. I just feel like he should just trust my decisions. And I guess I just enjoy the break from all of that. But I just worry about how much I enjoy being apart from him. Does anyone else out there feel like this in their marriage?
She happily married, bro. I know that sounds contradictory, but she is happily married, bro. She is exactly where she need to be at. It's gonna be the one time I'm gonna be like, look, you might want to tell your therapist about your anxiety, but that's not something you want to tell your man. I can't wait till you leave. You be when you be going on them long trips, I just be so enthusiastic. You get on my damn nerves. It's like a Medea skit. Okay, so what Boyz II Men did that song "Four Seasons of Loneliness." You got to think about you just like having a roommate. The other person in the house gonna get on your damn nerves. Your child, you don't want to be told what to do, and that's bad for you, and that's the reason why you feel frustrated about him telling you about his son. That's his damn son. You respect his decisions. And on the other side of things is you're not going to take any frustration on your child's behavior out on your child. You're going to take that out on your husband. Your ability to not have to walk on eggshells about your ability to vent and everything like that, that is a fantastic feeling for anybody to have. And while you believe that he is struggling through life with you not there, no man is miserable because his wife is not with him in a scenario where y'all have been around one another for 14 years, 15, 18 years. Y'all need vacations apart. And I am enthusiastic to hear that y'all are able to separate due to life stuff, whether it's work or military service or whatever the case may be, and you're at home waiting on him to come back. You're not looking forward to him coming back, but you're waiting on him to come back. You're able to rejuvenate yourself. You're able to replenish yourself so when he come back, you can put up with his bullshit. He's taking care of business. He's able to rejuvenate himself. He's going to come back and he's going to be able to put up with your bullshit. What I'm going to ask you to do is not let your resentment towards him build up. His sleep apnea, put a pillow under his shoulder blades, have his head tilted further back, open up his esophagus more so he stops snoring. Don't put yourself in a situation where y'all start sleeping in separate rooms and stop spending time together when he is home, because that's going to draw such a big wedge between y'all. Y'all are going to fall apart. But take some time apart, separate from one another, spend some time by yourself, enjoy the peace and quiet of being by yourself, and then come back and start building fonder memories with your partner. He's going to miss you. You should find a reason to miss him. Even if you miss picking his underwear up off the floor, make an excuse to miss him, because love is still a choice. Choose to miss him instead of choosing to wish that he would never come back, because that's where the resentment is going to come from, wishing that he would never come back. And if you continue to wish that he would never come back, when he comes back, the whole time he's there, you're going to wish that he would leave. And that's going to turn into discontent. You don't want that. You want to find reasons about him when he was there that you wish he was still there to do, so that you can have that same longing for him to return. Michael said, I would let this one ramble on and bet he hopes for another deployment. Look, she say that he talked too much. She went on for like 5 or 7 minutes, bro. You know how long it took for her to type that shit up, bro? Like she was probably typing that while he was packing his bags. CPAP, turn it off. But that's, if I was him, I'd be doing the same thing. I would just let her tell me exactly how much fun she had and how much excitement she had while I was gone, and I would be signing up for another tour. It's like, nah, my wife don't give a fuck that I'm going. She's probably having house parties right now because I'm not there. She having a live Kiss concert in the living room with Metallica and Guns N' Roses. The geriatric edition. But yeah, this one was a funny one. This one, I thought this one was really cool. She's happy about her marriage. She's happy about her husband. She just feels strange about how much enjoyment she has about not having her husband around the house at the time. And no, when you are around, you went from being around your family, brothers, sisters, mom, dad, everybody like that, to moving straight into your husband. You have never had a moment where you have lived in a house by yourself, and that feeling is wonderful. However, once you get used to being in a house by yourself, you get tired of people even faster. So the downside to how much you enjoy being in a house by yourself is that eventually you're going to become a hermit. You're going to be in your own place by yourself. You're going to be wishing that somebody was there. So to prioritize a balance, enjoy the time that he's away, like I said before, but give yourself a reason to want him to come back. And then you're good. So when y'all are there, y'all can spend time together, this, that, and the third. You could take turns. If he's not being deployed for military, or even if he is, if he's home and he's not going on tour for another 3 months, and you want to take like a weekend and leave the child with him since he nags so much about the child, and you get a day away from the kid, do that. Spa day, spa weekend, go to a resort. But always make sure that you maintain that balance. So that's a big thing, because you're 40 and the first time that you'd have been in the house by yourself was this one span that he just left. You a trooper. I had 10, 15 years, a long time. This is a good relationship. The communication could be worked on. Every relationship could be. This one is salvageable. Well, this one isn't in danger, but she does need to communicate with him. She should be able to communicate with him how stable she was while he wasn't there, but she should not word it such that his presence is not welcome there. She should be able to articulate it in a fashion that, since that was the first time that she's ever been in a house alone for her entire life, that she was enthusiastic to the new experience, and she is looking forward to the next time that happens. But she still needs to make sure that she values and validates the man that she has, and look forward to and make plans with him to spend time with him, so that they can rekindle the way she used to feel about him back in the day. But yes, no matter how great a relationship is, there is more communication that needs to be there. And this is one of those relationships that's more than solvable. It is the kind of relationship that's got another 25 years behind it, but it really needs that communication. Now, that one was the last one. So we ended on a good one today. Sometimes we have some of the most toxic, but we ended up on a good one today. So that's pretty cool. I actually really like that. I wasn't expecting that because I didn't get a chance to proofread it or anything like that. I just stuck it in there like, this is going to cover the 1 hour. So I didn't know what I was getting. There's a lot more that I got to go through. There's so many I haven't covered. So either way, what we've got coming up for tomorrow is we're going to be talking about how the DHS not getting funding after Saturday of next week could lead to more problems with the government shutdown. And then we're going to be talking about on Tuesday different other ways that you can make money with very little effort. So I want you guys to come through with that, and then hopefully happy ending. A happy ending. That was a loaded statement with no release. We're gonna, but hopefully by tomorrow evening we should have our Wednesday country up there, because we're gonna be like touching on different countries around the world, and then we're gonna finish up with the other show for Saturday and Sunday, so we have the rest of our week lined up, and probably even start going into next week's lineup, so that you'll kind of know what we're going to be getting ourselves into, so that you have reasons to utilize the notification buttons to remind yourselves for the upcoming shows. And I got all the scripts and everything ready for Monday and Tuesday. So the only thing that we need is for the internet to work in our favor, and we can just tee off exactly when we see. I was just about to put that up there, but he said, remember to like and subscribe, and please come again. But the way he worded it, the way he wrote it, I could get in trouble for it. So I'm not going to put that up on the screen. Oh, I'm gonna let you slide on that because we're wrapping it up. It's been an hour and a half. So what I'm gonna start off by saying is, ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm gonna keep asking you ladies to make it make sense. So ladies, please make it make sense. Fellas, I give y'all this information to help y'all become higher value men, giving you guys the tools that you need, the resources that you need to find the things in your life that you are capable of controlling and making the necessary changes to be satisfied with your life. And then the things that are outside of your control, you can navigate around those. Ladies, while this is a male-driven podcast from the male's perspective, you too can make yourself higher value women by utilizing this information, prioritizing your 20-year plan, and then putting forth the effort and activity of fulfilling that goal along the way, keeping your options open to those individuals that might mesh with the long-term 20-year goals that you have. You can then find a partner where you can grow with together, and then y'all can conquer those goals a whole lot faster. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for coming to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
That's my personal command. I'm not mounted on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never yield.